Hey everyone, Peter here. You know how much I love getting the best performance out of my computer, and one of the biggest upgrades you can make is switching from a traditional hard drive to an SSD. We're talking night and day difference, people. In today's video, we're diving into the key differences between SSD, solid-state drives, and HDD, hard disk drives, and why upgrading to an SSD could make all the difference for your computer's performance. We'll cover everything from how SSDs work to why they're so much faster and what to consider when choosing between an SSD and an HDD. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Alright, first things first, what exactly is an SSD? Imagine a USB flash drive but on steroids. SSDs use something called NAND flash memory to store your data. Think of it like a giant grid of tiny switches that can be flipped on or off to represent ones and zeros, the building blocks of all your data. Now, traditional HDDs on the other hand, are like old-school record players. They have spinning platters and a read-write head that has to physically move across the platter to access your data. That takes time, and it's why HDDs can feel so slow, especially as they age. SSDs, with their lack of moving parts and super-fast flash memory, can access data almost instantly. It's like teleporting versus walking. This technology is what makes SSDs the speed demons of the storage world. Okay, let's talk speed. We all know how frustrating it is to wait for your computer to boot up or for an application to load. With an SSD, those days are over. We're talking boot times that go from minutes to seconds. Applications open in a flash. Files transfer at lightning speed. It's not just about benchmarks and numbers either. The entire computing experience feels smoother and more responsive. Imagine editing videos without lag, playing games with lightning-fast load times, or just browsing the web without those annoying pauses. That's the power of an SSD. It's like upgrading from dial-up to fiber optic internet for your computer's storage. Trust me, once you go SSD, you'll never want to go back. Now I'm sure you've heard horror stories about dropped hard drives and lost data. It's a real fear, and rightfully so. Those spinning platters in HDDs are delicate, and a sudden jolt or drop can spell disaster. SSDs, on the other hand, are built like tanks. Well, maybe not literally tanks, but you get the idea. With no moving parts, they can withstand shocks and vibrations that would make an HDD cry. This makes them ideal for laptops that are constantly on the move. Plus, SSDs generally have lower failure rates than HDDs, meaning your data is safer in the long run. It's like the difference between carrying around a stack of papers and a solid-state brick of information. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room: cost. I won't sugarcoat it, SSDs are generally more expensive per gigabyte than HDDs. This is especially true for larger capacities. However, SSD prices have been steadily dropping over the years. Plus, you have to weigh the cost versus the performance gains. Is it worth it to save a few bucks and be stuck with a slow, sluggish computer? For most people, the answer is a resounding no. Thankfully, you don't necessarily need to replace all your storage with an SSD. A smaller SSD for your operating system and frequently used applications, paired with a larger HDD for mass storage, can be a great compromise. So should you ditch your HDD and go all in on SSDs? Well, it depends. If you're a gamer, a video editor, or just someone who values speed and responsiveness, then absolutely yes. An SSD will completely transform your computing experience. If you're on a tight budget and mainly use your computer for basic tasks like browsing the web and checking email, an HDD might still be a viable option. Just be prepared for some occasional slowdowns. Ultimately, the best storage solution for you depends on your individual needs and budget. But one thing is clear, SSDs are the future of storage, and they offer a level of performance that HDDs simply can't match. So there you have it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why SSDs have become the go-to storage solution for most users, and whether upgrading to one is right for you. It's about weighing the benefits of blazing fast speeds, increased durability, and a smoother computing experience against your budget and storage needs. Personally, I can't imagine using a computer without an SSD. It's one of the best upgrades you can make, and it makes a world of difference in how your computer performs. Like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more tech insights and tutorials.